and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to talk about all of the things that have opened, gonna open, all kinds of stuff going on in beautiful Phoebus. My guest is Toni Williams with the Phoebus Partnership. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited. Now, I'm just going to jump in because I read it in, I don't know, Virginia Business or somewhere, that a distillery has leased space in Phoebus.
Yeah, a distillery is coming to Mallory Street. So not only will Phoebus have their very own cidery, a distillery is going to pop open. So we're hoping for that to be later this year, summer, fall season.
And that might, you know, it takes a while.
There's a process for that.
I believe you can get vodka pretty quickly, but some of the others take a little while to make.
And I'm not 100% sure what will be involved with the distillery. So
right.
That's exciting to think about.
But it hasn't really been announced. It just made the news because they signed a lease.
They signed a lease. So after the lease, there's a whole process, like you said, to go through.
Oh, you got to get permits and all kinds of stuff.
Something to look forward to, though.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is.
And you said there was a brewery coming.
Yes, so next to the distillery is going to be Traffic Brewing, and they decided to call it Traffic because unfortunately there is a lot of traffic known to Phoebus in rush hour, but they're capitalizing on that. And what better way to spend time in traffic by pulling over and enjoying a nice cold beer in the Traffic Brewery. So that's going to open in June, and that's on Mallory as well.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And I haven't been yet, which is unusual for me, but Phoebus Dive Bar opened.
The Phoebus Dive Bar has opened recently, and it's on Mellon Street. It's 31 East Mellon Street, I believe. It's a really unique...
The former Old Town Tavern, right?
Yeah, former Old Town Tavern, and it has two pool tables, and they have completely redone the inside. It's got a vintage look, and it really is, it's a dive bar, but with a diving theme. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's what, I thought, when I first heard dive bar, I thought, well, it's going to be like Old Town, which I always, it was a bar type place.
Right.
But they've got the diving theme, and I think it's a little more upscale. What kind of food do they have, Toni? Have you been?
I have not been, but I keep in the know as much as I can, and I saw one of their specials recently was a fried Spam sandwich, so I'm not exactly sure what that would be like, but it's going to be sandwiches and foods
it's
of
comfort
that nature.
Food too. I've seen pictures of their meatloaf. I think they had a brisket recently. So it's more, it's not pub, well, they might have pub food also, but they have, kind of upscale or with a twist, but, kind of familiar down home kind of dishes.
And that would be bar friendly. So you can sit there and have a drink and enjoy a nice meal that would complement each other. So you're exactly correct.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay, what else is going on out there?
In Phoebus?
In Phoebus.
So there are a lot of things happening. Those who are familiar with Scratch is a great location, but they receive so much attention that they've decided they need to expand. So Scratch is going to be moving to a larger location on Mellon Street. Basically, they're in 500 square feet now, moving to 2,500 plus.
Oh, congratulations.
I know.
That's a great business growth story.
It really is, and they need to do that because their customers are craving that. They want more from them. They want to be able to have a tasting area for brides when they want to taste cakes. They want to have cake decorating in the window for people to come by and see what they're working on, and coffee and some new things that they just weren't able to do in a smaller space. So that's exciting for them. Men's accessory shop is going to come to Mellon. We have the Honey House Boutique for women currently.
I still haven't been there.
It's adorable.
Thank you for reminding me.
They have local honey. The Honey House has local honey and candles that are made locally and some really cute little clothes and home decor. But to complement that, there will be a men's accessory shop coming as well, and that should be later this year. The lease is in the works as well. So,
addition. This is good.
Well,
give us the
just a
inside
little bit,
scoop.
a little tease there. And I've heard that there's a lease for a wine bar as well. So many things are happening in Phoebus. We've already had a lot so far within the past couple of years, and it just is continuing to grow. It's very exciting.
If you look back at the Phoebus, 3 years ago, there have always been some restaurants and the antique shops. Like, it was known as a place where you could get antiques and things like that. But now it is like restaurant central. It is nightlife friendly or afternoon life. You know, cider, you don't have to wait until late, but there's so much going on.
Well, there really is, and to say that there are new events that have been popping up also. So with the growth of the restaurants and the shops, there's also been a request for some more activities on the street. So earlier this year, we had a really nice dock party where we christened the new dock that's in Phoebus, and we're looking to do some other events. We have the annual ones that everyone's aware of, but
Spring Fling was awesome.
It was big
really
and fun and
huge.
I appreciate that, and we had a good time. We always have a good time putting them on, and to see
You
the people
always have a good
enjoy
time
it.
in Phoebus. I will say the history of Phoebus, with its more saloons per capita than any other city in the United States, or town, because it wasn't, I don't know if it was ever a city, but it was a town by itself before the city annexed it. You know, it's got that environment. It's got that history.
It does, and the residents, you know, there are residents who have lived there since Phoebus was its own entity, and they will say, yes, it is its own city, and it very much so is today, even though we are part of Hampton. It's unique to itself. So Phoebus is it's a wonderful community. It's vibrant. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of activities and things for all ages, really. So.
Now, talk about the dock just a little bit, because I know that has two purposes. One is for residents to launch their own kayaks or canoes, but the other one is to sort of bring boaters in.
So the intent was to be able to offer, you know, a lot of people who are sailing around, their vessels aren't capable of coming close enough to land without using a dinghy to be able to come out and explore and enjoy Hampton and Phoebus in general. So it's a dinghy dock. So those who have a dinghy can use that to come and dock and get out and explore Phoebus, maybe go get some groceries if necessary, ride their bike. That was what the intent was, to be able to give an opportunity for boaters to actually come in and enjoy Hampton in Phoebus.
And we as residents, sometimes people get a little cranky about spending money for tourism, but there's a huge return on tourism. First of all, tourists don't cost us much. They don't go to school. And that's the biggest cost really in the budget. So, but they spend here. And when they spend here, A, businesses do well.
Right.
But B, restaurant tax and amusement tax is really bigger and growing source of revenue for the city.
It is. It goes back to the city, and that's what offers opportunities for docks and new projects that the residents will benefit from. So you're exactly right.
Yeah, and it's ongoing money. And you don't just get it once, you get it every year.
It is.
And that's what we need in order to grow and expand services.
And to continue on with the dock, yes, it is intended for dinghies and for boaters, but it's a really nice green space. And like I said earlier, that we had a dock party and we had kids activities, and we really tried to utilize the space as an outdoor area in Phoebus for people to gather. We're going to continue to do that in Phoebus. And I mean, people are encouraged to go there themselves and have a picnic. I mean, it's just a really nice green area that's on the water in Phoebus. So.
Well, and if you're waiting at a restaurant for a table and they give you the little buzzer or text you when it's ready, you can stroll down the street, you can walk along there, or afterward, if you're real full after your meal, you need to walk around a little bit. I mean, it is a nice amenity to have.
It is. It's very attractive. And again, it just gives you that sense of we are a waterfront community. So.
Yeah, it ties everything in.
It does.
Well, so restaurants now, let's just think. We have, I don't know that we have any that have been around a long time. I mean, Old Point Steak and Spaghetti's gone, Old Town Tavern's gone. We have all really kind of fairly new concepts. I mean, Mango's been there a while. El Diablo replaced what was there before.
There's Fuller's.
Fuller's is amazing, by the way, and they have a discount night on oysters on Tuesdays. But I had the best oysters there. I mean, you get to kind of pick what you want.
Right.
I think I tried the freshwater and the saltwater. I had kind of a combination because I like mixing it up, but it's wonderful.
There's not, I don't feel that there are enough restaurants that have the raw bar option. So that's really nice for us.
And sometimes it's hard to find people who specialize in that.
It really is, but
I'm
Fuller's
going
is
to
a
count the
great
Dead
place.
Rise as almost in Phoebus, which is another good one.
Well, and Mama Rose's is in Phoebus as well.
I have not been since they changed ownership.
Well, from my understanding, it will be the same great menu and concepts that everyone who already loves Mama
Garlic
Rose's
knots.
Garlic knots. I'm a fan of their chocolate cake because the piece is just extremely huge, but they're not changing it that much.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's the Mama Rose's that we've all known and loved. We'll continue to know and love. It's just new ownership. So, and they are in Phoebus. You might not think about it because it's not that main street, but it's
Right.
still in Phoebus. So,
Well, and that reminds me, of course, Stuffed, the Victorian Tea Station, Big Pink, and the music that's going on there. And they have a nice food vendor too.
oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do. So,
Now, I think I forgot some, but now I can't remember. But it's just a great place. And it's one of those things where you're like, well, it's Friday, and I know there's always traffic, but it's Friday, let's go to Phoebus, and then figure out where we're going to go. Like,
well, and I'll tell you this too, most people don't realize there are 2 opportunities to dine outdoors, actually 3. Mango has an outdoor patio. The Point just recently, as of last year, has a really beautiful outdoor deck.
that is nice.
It
I
really
have
is.
been
It's covered
out there.
too,
The Point's
so-
one that I forgot. And they have, well, they don't just have, they have a real mix of things, but they have really good seafood too.
And then also Fuller's has an outdoor deck. So we have 3
Yeah, that was not
opportunities
open. I think I
now.
went like opening night when I hit Fuller's.
It's a work in
but-
progress, but it's
Yeah.
there, and I know they're trying to utilize it, and you know, it's a beautiful time of year, even in the fall. Sit outside. I don't know about the middle of summer, but if you're ambitious, you know.
Right.
But it's a nice
it's a good
option.
day, basically.
Yes.
Whenever it's a nice day, you can do that.
It definitely.
Oh my gosh, you stay busy.
Yes, working on many things, but that's exciting for Phoebus. It's exciting for me. It should be exciting for the community because it's all new stuff happening.
Speaking of Phoebus, now this is not as much for current residents. Well, it could be if you want to move, but the apartment complex, the Monroe Gates, I hear they're actually beginning construction now.
They're beginning construction. Obviously, that will be a continuing work in progress. I know initially they had hoped for 2020. I don't know that that's going to happen, but probably not too far, you know, after that. But they are. They've got their equipment out, doing what they need to do with the land to prep to start their construction, and that will be huge for Phoebus. It will be huge for Hampton. The opportunities there of just, you know, new residents in a new housing complex. Phoebus doesn't really have that currently.
Exactly. They have a lot of gorgeous old Victorian
Yep.
homes, and then some other older homes, kind of, you know, smaller, older homes. But if you don't want that, you know, if you want maintenance-free kind of apartment living, that option doesn't really exist now.
Not
And
currently.
it will.
It will, and it will on a very, I don't even know, on a level with an Olympic resort type swimming pool. Instead of a key, you're going to have like a card, which you would receive in a hotel to get in and out of your door. I think they'll have a package valet. So for all of us Amazon Prime shoppers who receive packages regularly, there will be someone there to manage those deliveries. I mean, that's a lot of really nice amenities. It's
is.
forward thinking for an apartment community like that. And
Well, it's the
great.
new modern upscale apartment community. It's different than, you know, what I lived in when I was first out of college. So yeah, very, very nice.
So it'll be exciting to see those who choose to live there, and then that will be a whole new footprint for Phoebus, you know, coming in and enjoying all of the shops and restaurants, and that's great for all of us.
And those people can avoid the traffic because, you know, they just have to walk.
And I think that's the goal. Phoebus is a walkable community where you can live and you can shop and dine, and there's a grocery store close by. So really,
And I
all there.
forget that little shopping center with the grocery store, and I hear that's the best ABC store in town because all of the restaurants and pubs get their, so you can buy things there that are a little out of the ordinary for some of the other places.
Well, see, you just taught me something new. I didn't know that, but it's a very convenient location, so I can see that.
And a great grocery store.
That food line is extremely nice. I go in there, I have to say, for lunch and just to pick up odds and ends, but you know, it really, they have done a wonderful job with that location, so.
Okay, well, exciting things in Phoebus always, but especially this summer, and we'll have you back to tip us off to the future.
Hey,
later.
there's more to come.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I hope you will visit Phoebus any time of day, but especially include a meal because you can't go wrong at any of the restaurants there. And stay tuned because it is constantly changing and growing. Thanks for watching.